Good morning. I hope everybody had a great weekend. I know I did. I want to give you a little bit of an update about what this is going to consist of. Then I'm going to talk about what I got accomplished since the last update I gave you and what I look forward to accomplishing this week. Now, these updates that I do Mondays and Thursdays at 8 a.m. are intended primarily to keep me accountable to you, to keep projects like this on task, get them done a little sooner. That way I can get to the build videos. I'm queuing up a lot of footage as I'm building these projects, and I do plan to do normal build videos, so those won't go away. They're just kind of on hold to help me get this project knocked out. And so hopefully you find the updates interesting to keep status updates in real time. So with that out of the way, I think this is going to be a fairly quick update, just on account of I feel like it's fairly straightforward what I've done as well as what's coming up. And the questions are fairly straightforward as well, so unless there's some in the comments, I think it's going to be a fairly quick update. Now, what have I gotten done? I got the feed screw bearing support installed. I installed the bearing in the feed screw bearing support, and then I attached the support to the spindle head. Now, this is the part of the mill that raises and lowers the spindle that holds a cutting tool that performs a machining operation on a workpiece. Let me, I guess, get it in there a little closer. Let me move this camera up so that you guys can see what's going on. And I want to be on the other side, actually. Okay, so Peter with PGS, he, in addition to giving me that really cool tool for estimating percent complete by counting the number of holes, by the way, I'm up to 9.5% complete with this project based on hole count. He also suggested that I take the opportunity to check, how square the travel of the spindle head is relative to the bed ways. And so I'm just using this fireball clamp over here. I guess I haven't checked it meticulously to verify its squareness, but based on presumption that this is square, I end up with about maybe a half a thousandth of travel over, the full, about half a thousandth of travel over the full range of that spindle head. So to me, that seems like a pretty acceptable amount of deviation from squareness. Now, I have not checked it, this direction. I guess technically it needs to be square to the ways that go on the cross slide, but those should be parallel to the bed ways. So I did check the squareness. Actually, let me not make you guys sick here. Okay, so I did check. I put a rod in here, and I checked the squareness. Right here's the rod. So I put this rod down in there, and then I've got one of those little magnetic angle gauges. So I just put it on here, and I verified that this bore that I actually turned this part between centers after I had the bearing installed. So I checked the relative angles of this gauge that I put into the bore with the bed ways, with this vertical ways to tell how far it was out of alignment. I think it was about 0.1 degree, so a tenth of a degree out this direction, and maybe a tenth of a degree this direction, and about 0.3, so 3/10 of a degree out in this direction. I'm going to run with that, but yeah, maybe that's a good segue into what's coming up. So in the next couple days, I plan on kind of putting the mill on hold for a moment. I need to go cast some parts. So today I'm going to be working up the patterns. Tomorrow, hopefully, they'll be all dried, and I will be able to cast those the refractory coating will be dried, I'll be able to cast the parts. That is going to be a set screw chuck so that I can turn the feed cranks for the mill project, a faceplate so that I can attach that rigidly to my threaded spindle that I've got in the lathe. I also will cast the carriage casting. So I don't have, that's not one of the set. This will be the first time that I'm casting using the lost bone process with zamak. So it's a much lower melting point. So I'm interested to see how that will play out. Probably will use a larger sprue, just that way it has more thermal mass to get through and hopefully fill the part. Yeah, so we'll see how that goes. I also would like to be able to turn the feed screw and get that installed. So I think that's probably a lot to get done in 3 days, but we'll see. All right. Yeah. So it doesn't look like there's questions in the live stream comments.